Before I begin this video, I would like to apologize for the confusion of my last upload on LBL. I was planning on uploading multiple videos surrounding this story, but forgot to add that in my description and thumbnail to let everyone know. But I do hope you guys enjoy this version surrounding the LBL mystery. Okay, now let's get started. There are many different versions of this terrifying story, surrounding the real-life murders of a family who took their RV and parked it at the land between the lakes in order to go camping. And every version I've read about truly disturbs me to the point that I don't want to continue my research on this anymore. But I believe the family's story needs to be told, and if the events people claimed happened there and to the family are true, then I believe people should know the truth. I mean, if one of your loved ones was brutally killed by a beast many say is a dogman, and the government covered it up, wouldn't you want to know of what actually happened to them? I sure would. Well, this is one version of the story, then later on I will tell you another. In the 1980s, a family ventured out for a camping trip in the land between the lakes area, which is between the Kentucky and Tennessee border. They arrived there quite early, hoping to secure an ideal campsite before other people arrived. However, their trip took a horrifying turn. According to many different accounts, the family was targeted by a creature many know as the Dogman. One theory suggests that it was the father's cologne, possibly containing musk, that may have provoked the creature, causing the Dogman to launch a vicious attack, first killing the father and then the 13-year-old son, who was trying to escape to the safety of their camper. Then the mother was next, and officials reportedly observed that the horrid state of her body and the eerie devastation around the campsite indicated that she had fought fiercely for her life. Among the family's belongings, they found little girl's clothing, but her body was not immediately located. After an extensive search, they discovered the girl's partially consumed body high up in a tree. Allegedly, a local law enforcement officer involved in the initial investigation was removed by an unidentified agency and never heard anything further about the case. And supposedly, a team of soldiers from nearby Fort Campbell was called in to track down and kill the creature. It is claimed that the Dogman was so enormous that it required nearly the entire group to load its body into a truck. Due to these suspicions of a cover-up, verifying the truth of this tale remains unknown. But there is a version of this story that might just shed some light on what really happened. And this is version 2. A man named Roger says that back in 1982, when he was only 15 years old, he was invited to go camping with the family, after meeting them at a recreational site. Roger said that he was staying with relatives at the time he met the family, who had just moved there, after giving up being Amish. One day, Roger was asked by the man of the family, whose name was Levi, if he wanted to go camping with them at the land between the lakes. After getting permission from his own family, Roger accompanied the family in their RV on their trip to LBL. Among Levi's family was his wife Diane, their 13-year-old son Stephen, and 9-year-old daughter Connie, who Roger made friends with. Once they arrived to their destination, they would find no one else there, leaving them alone. Levi made sure to park his RV at the far end at the campsite, giving them plenty of space. After doing so, Levi and Stephen went into the forest to gather firewood for them to start a campfire, while Diane and Connie stayed inside of the RV, as they made dinner for their family. Roger, however, took his .410 that he had brought along with him, and went off alone to shoot at tin cans. But while gathering up the cans to shoot at, Roger would begin to hear a commotion that was happening in front of the camper, and said he could hear both Levi and Stephen yelling and screaming out loud. Roger then ran to the front of the RV, and what he saw was quite terrifying and was the beginning of a real-life nightmare. There before him, he saw a dog-like beast attacking Stephen, and was trying to sink its fangs into Stephen's throat. Before the creature could bite Stephen, Levi rushed over aiming his shotgun at the beast, shooting it in its shoulder, allowing his son to be freed from the thing's grip. Unfortunately, Levi's gun was loaded with bird shots, and since it was, the impact wasn't enough, which allowed the dog-like creature to then attack Levi, where it would go on to kill him quickly, and then Stephen. Scared for his life, Roger then opened fire on the creature, using his .410 shotgun, which dropped the beast to the ground, and after it fell, Roger quickly climbed underneath the RV, and climbed up next to the drive shaft, where he remained hidden. Not too long after, Roger could then feel the camper vibrating, as the large creature made its way inside, where he would then hear the screams of the two females, as they were being attacked, but not long after, everything went silent. Roger stated that he wasn't positive, but swears that there could have been two beasts there that day killing the family at LBL. Roger then stayed put under the RV for a long time, until he heard footsteps running off into the woods. After a little while longer, he climbed out from his hiding spot, and ran to the main road nearby, looking for someone to help him. Roger was able to tell the driver of a pickup about the horrifying events that took place at the campsite, and the man took him serious enough to take him to a farm that was close by, so he could call the police. Later on, the man took Roger back to the campsite, and once they arrived to the area, they would see government officials and the National Guard covering the campsite. As he was telling the officials what took place there, he couldn't help but see what had happened to the family. The two girls had their necks snapped, and had bite marks all over them where the beast was feeding on them. Roger told the officials that he heard no type of growling or barks during the attacks on the family, just that the things was panting. Roger went on to tell the official that both the beasts walked around like people, and not like regular animals would, and he at first thought that they were men wearing dog suits. Nothing was stolen from the family's RV, all of their money was still in their safe, that they received after selling their house, so if it was men in suits, then they weren't there for anything other than to kill like a beast would. Roger said he was taken to the airport afterwards, where he then flew back home. After going back home, he never told his immediate family what had happened at the land between the lakes, mainly because he was too scared. He said he did watch the news, waiting to see what they would say about the horrifying event, though the news never did broadcast anything related to the killings. But years later he would see different tellings of the story everywhere online, which told him that everything he witnessed that dreadful day, and the truth surrounding it had to have been covered up, which made him tell the truth himself about what happened at the land between the lakes. If you guys are interested in hearing Roger talk about the land between the lakes, and tell his version of the story, then you can either search his channel, which is called Roger's Land Between the Lakes, or you can click on the video link I have pinned in the comments section. And whether you believe him or not is up to you to decide. So, what do you guys think about Roger's story? Do you believe him? Or do you think he made it up and wasn't actually there? Me personally, I think he could be telling the truth, because there is so much about that case that no one can explain, like for instance, the RV being shredded up. What regular animal could shred an RV? A bear, possibly? But I think they wouldn't have any claws left, and their paws would be cut up from the tin and metal, leaving bloody paw prints everywhere. But if it was a bear, and the little girl's body was found high up in a tree, then it wouldn't make any sense. And there's no way it could shred up an RV. It couldn't even get past the tin. It would only leave deep scratches. I don't know, maybe it was just a hungry bear, one that was rabid, that climbs up into, then eats its prey up in trees, and was killing everything in its sight. Or maybe Roger's story is true, and he actually witnessed the family's demise, the dreadful day their lives were unfortunately cut short. But anyway, my thoughts do not matter, only yours does. So comment down below what you think about his story, and until I upload you another video for your entertainment, Thank you for watching, and may God bless you and your families. Stay safe.